On my previous presentation, I spoke about why I recommend the King James Version and just a few Bible verses as to why I believe that way, as in talking about the law of the first mention and where the manuscripts come from and blah blah blah. Want to know more about it? Look on my presentation before this one and you will see what I'm talking about. Now, I got a comment from a person. I'm not going to single this person out. I'm not going to mention this person's TikTok name, but you go into the comments and you'll see it yourself. Anyway, this person is saying that I don't appear to be a born-again Christian and that I seem to be filled with fear and concerns of irrelevant things. And another party setting up, this person sending a message is no born-again person cares about what I'm mentioning, as in which Bible I believe you should be using. And I'd imagine this person would have looked through my other presentations and probably calls all them irrelevant as well. Now, that's his opinion, and without being judgmental, I think he needs to have a look at himself. I think this person is a hypocrite. Now, I don't know if it's a man or a lady. I really don't know. I haven't had a look to see what stuff is on this person's account, so I don't really know what's there. And going by his messages to me, I'm not really interested in what this person has to say. Again, man or lady, I don't care. It doesn't matter. But about judging others, saying that what I'm saying is irrelevant. First of all, I just want to do a couple of verses on judging. And it says here, I should have had it ready, but in Matthew chapter 7, I think it is. Matthew chapter 7, in verse 1 and 2. And these are the words of Jesus. It says, "Judge not that ye be not judged." And usually people stop there and say, "No, don't judge me." So, okay, and they usually stop there, but verse 2 is just as important. It says, "For with what judgment ye judge, ye shall be judged, and with what measure ye mete, it shall be meted to you again." So in other words, the way you judge people is the way you are going to be judged yourself. Now, that's altogether not a bad thing, because we do have to make judgments. Every day we've got to make judgments. For example, just say you're buying a car. You've got to judge as to which, if you look at a few cars, you've got to judge as to see which one is the best deal for you, which one is going to be the most reliable, it's going to suit your needs. You've got to make a judgment. Now, if you've got young children, you might say to your children, "Don't hang around those children over there because I see them being disrespectful of people and I don't want you to learn their bad habits." That's judgment as well, but that's a good kind of judgment. Now, a bad kind of judgment is, and for my skin color, okay, I'm not dark. Okay, so I'm not from Africa or India or any place like that. But what would be bad judgment if I said to my children, if they were young, or to any children, don't hang around with those children there because they've got dark skin. Obviously that's been racist, that's been prejudiced. That's the kind of judgment it's saying we shouldn't be. And there's many other examples as well of how we should not judge. If someone comes to church in rags, we should welcome them in just the same as we welcome in somebody wearing a suit or just well dressed. If someone comes in plain clothes, they should be welcomed in as well. If someone comes in with tattoos all over their arms and their face and nose piercings, they should be just as welcome at church as well. We should not judge them, say you should not come to church, you're not worthy of it. That is a bad judgment. And it says here in John chapter 7 and verse 24, also this is the words of Jesus again, it says, judge not according to the appearance, what I was just saying about the colour of someone's skin or how they're dressed, good or bad. Don't judge according to the appearance. It says, but judge righteous judgment. That's the words of Jesus. And I want to go back to Matthew chapter 7 again. And I want to go to verse 16. This is the words of Jesus again. He says, you know them by their fruits. Do men gather grapes of thorns, of figs of thistles? Even so, every good tree bringeth forth good fruit, but a corrupt tree bringeth forth evil fruit. A good tree cannot bring forth evil fruit, neither can a corrupt tree bring forth good fruit. Every tree that bringeth not forth good fruit is hewn down and cast into the fire. Wherefore by their fruits ye shall know them. And that's what I want to stick in right now. It says, by their fruits you shall know them. Now, as a Christian, yes, we need to make righteous judgment. And also this person was saying that my presentations only confuse people. And yeah, he might have a point there, because if you're only new in the faith, well, then you probably don't really know what I'm talking about when I'm talking about the law of the first mention, about different manuscripts that make up the Bible, and different subjects of the Bible. Now, if you're a learned Christian, you probably have a much better idea of what I'm talking about. But someone new in the faith probably has no idea. And this is what I want to talk about now. And that is I'll give you an example of a baby. When a child is born, you've got to bottle feed them or breastfeed them, whatever. And then as they get older and grow more, then you start spoon feeding them, or some liquidy stuff, and slowly turn the food into solid food. And if it's mushed up veggies or whatever you're going to feed your baby, and they become toddlers and they start eating by themselves, messy as it may be, and then they start getting tidier with their food, with feeding themselves. Then you might introduce them, and they get older again when they're eating quite alright. You might introduce them to giving them a knife so they can cut their food up and eat it. And that's just how Christian growth is. Sometimes we're all at different stages in our Christian growth. Some are still babies, some are toddlers, some are adolescents, some are adults, some are grandpas in their Christian maturity and what they know and what they don't know. And so when I do these presentations, I try and cater for everybody, for those who are new Christians and for those who are mature Christians. I try and put some light stuff in, some heavy stuff in. I try and mix it. And so yes, some of my stuff might if some new Christian looks at some of my stuff, it might go straight over their head. Yet what I do put on might be just what someone else needs to hear. And I've had lots of comments and encouragement about people put about my presentations being just what they needed to hear at that time, and I praise God for that. And so, going back to this person again, we need to be careful how we judge people. We've got to judge righteously. And if what I'm saying is irrelevant, this person should be more specific. And he hasn't been specific at all. He just said, what I'm saying is irrelevant. Nothing at all. So he obviously hasn't got his facts right. And if you're listening to this, whoever you are, I hope you think about what you said to me and get your facts right. To everyone else, if you do have any Bible questions, feel free to stick it in the comments or inbox me on TikTok, or if you're watching this on YouTube, inbox me on that, and I'll do my best to answer whatever questions you have. If I don't have an answer, I certainly study into it and try and find an answer for you as quick as I possibly can, but it can take a while sometimes. So again, if you're going to judge righteously, have the right kind of judgment, because it is important to judge, but do it the right way.